change the race. There are going to be people drop out of this race because of what you do. There'll be people who national media hasn't paid any attention to. All of a sudden they have to, all because of what you're going to do. And so I always say is, you do the job of recommending to the American public who they should be looking at and who they should be focused on as the best person to be president, to come in and govern in a way that you want, that reflect your values and what you think is best for America. And I heard this 4 years ago. Well, look, you're low in the polls, you can't win. I said, well, that's right. If you don't vote for me, I can't win. If you think I'm the best candidate, you don't vote for me, then I'm not going to win. If all the folks who think I'm the best candidate and have the best chance of winning and represent your values the best, then the person who doesn't represent your values the best is going to win. And that is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put forward the person who you think is best. So that would be my caution to you, my recommendation to you. And, obviously, I say that because I think you look at the entire field, there are a lot of really good, impressive people there, but if you look at someone who's been a strong, consistent conservative over a long period of time that you can trust, someone who has been effective in promoting those values and ideas, not just to the public, but in Washington, D.C., and being able to bring people together to get something done, and someone who has a long track record of winning tough elections against the odds, against very tough Democrats, in states that we have to win in order to win the presidency. And if you look at that, I mean, I've represented 2 congressional districts, 2 different ones, because they changed it because of redistricting from my first election to my second election. And then I won 2 elections in Pennsylvania as a United States Senator. And the first election I beat a Democratic incumbent in a 60% Democratic district. The second election I ran for re-election, they put me in a 70% Democratic district against a 28-year Democratic incumbent. The third election I ran against an incumbent Democratic senator for the U.S. Senate in a state at the time was over 1 million more registered Democrats and Republicans. And then about 6 years later, there was close to 1.5 million more registered Democrats and Republicans, and I won again. And I can give you each one of those elections, I was an underdog. I wasn't supposed to win. And some of them, they didn't know who I was when I started. And I got no support from the establishment. And I just share that with you. If you're looking for, at a time when our country is facing some of the most severe crises that we've faced in a long, long time, I just caution the folks of Iowa to, use some common sense and don't just take a pig and a poke. Look at someone who's actually can do this and has proven. Even 4 years ago, when I was outgunned, outspent, had the entire establishment against me, all for Mitt Romney, the RNC, Fox News, everybody, they were all shilling for Romney, and nobody else really was able to go out there and successfully challenge him. And I just say this, the people of Iowa have been able to count a little better on caucus night. We'd had a win on caucus night, and the whole race would have been different. But I didn't get a win until 3 weeks later, and it took us a while to sort of get back, and we did. Even though, again, Romney had all the things going for him, we still came back and won 11 states. And I think that's what we're looking for: someone who's a fighter, someone who'll keep going, and someone who can get things done. So I'll be happy to stop and take whatever questions you have.